Here we are at self-test number 3, following video number 3, posting transactions. I've given you some information here so that you can get some practice posting transactions. Now, of course, I'm using an Excel spreadsheet, but you can use plain sheets of paper or even a spiral notebook. Even a spiral notebook can be a general ledger because all you need is a sheet for each account that we're going to be posting transactions to. In Excel, these tabs down here represent sheets, so however you are able to do it will be just fine. So the first thing that you should do is set up a chart of accounts. Then I would like you to set up a sheet for each one of the accounts that we have in the chart of accounts, and of course you're going to be using everything here. And remember that net income is not a posting account. Then after you get that ready, then you can start posting transactions from the information I've provided here. I put them in order here as you should post them. 1, 2, 3, you see there, etc., etc. Go ahead and post those transactions. After you get those transactions posted, then try to do a trial balance the way that we went over it in video number 3. And you can just use a separate sheet of paper, or you can use a tab here on Excel, whatever you have available. And keep in mind, we are going to start using the computer. I know everybody uses QuickBooks. We will be too. But I wanted you to learn how the fundamentals of bookkeeping and how it works and what your computer is doing so that you can work on any software. All right, now stop the video, get your transactions posted, and come back and we'll go over the answers. All right, here we go. Let's go over the chart of accounts. So your chart of accounts should look just about like this. All right, so let's go back over here and get our first transaction. The initial contribution from the owner via deposit to the operating account. So you should go to your cash in the operating account. Deposit from the owner, that's a debit, $5,000, because we're increasing the amount in the bank account. The other side of that entry is an owner contribution. Deposit from the owner, that goes in the credit column. And notice that I do not have brackets in the credit column because if you put something in the credit column, you do not need to use your brackets. But over in the balance column, of course you do, because that's where you need to tell whoever is looking at it if it's a debit or a credit. Okay, so you use a credit column, and then the balance is a credit of $5,000. All right, let's go take a look at number 2. The business loan from your sister. She gave us a check for $1,000 and we made a bank deposit into the operating account. So again, we go to the operating account, record the deposit from our sister, $1,000 debit because we're increasing the amount in the bank account. Now we have $6,000 in the bank. The other side of that entry, remember every transaction has to have two sides, a debit and a credit. Very, very important. So the other side of the entry is in the liability section. That's where we put the credit. Deposit from sister, $1,000 in the credit column, and our balance is $1,000. All right, number 3, we wrote a check to fund the petty cash box for $75 with check number 1001. So that we go to petty cash box. There we write cash from operating 1001, $75 debit, and our balance is $75. Now, of course, we didn't just put the check in the petty cash box. We cashed the check at the bank and then brought the cash back and put it in the box. The other side of the entry is cash in the operating account. Cash for petty cash box, that's check 1001. That's a credit of $75, reducing our balance down to $5,925. All right, now let's go to number 4. We wrote a check from the operating account to fund this when we opened the savings account with check number 1002. So we can go to cash in the operating account, cash to savings, check number 1002, $100 credit. That's going to reduce the balance in our account, our operating account, down to $58.25. The other side of that entry is cash in the savings account. We're increasing this balance. So cash from operating with check number 1002, a debit of $100 and a balance of $100. All right, so now let's go take a look at number 5. Purchase from local supply house with a credit card. Okay, well we know we owe the credit card company, so let's go to the credit card payable tab. There's the description, local office supply house, credit $24, and a balance of credit $24. The other side to that entry is office supplies. So we go to the office supply sheet, account, local office supply house. The debit is $24 and the balance is $24. Very good. Let's go to number 6. We used cash from the petty cash box to pay for this postage. So we come over to the petty cash box sheet and we record United States Postal Service, a credit of $20 because we're reducing the amount that we have in our cash box down to $55. The other side to that entry is postage. So we come over to the postage sheet and we record our USPS debit $20 and our balance is $20. Now let's go to number 7. Sales. We collected cash for refinished sales. So we go over to the cash in the operating account, $2,000 deposit, increased our bank balance to $78.25. The other side to this entry is sales. So we record here, deposit from sales, credit $2,000, balance, credit $2,000. Our next transaction, number 8. We wrote a check for this, check number 1003, payable to the local telephone company. So we come over to cash in the operating account, local telephone company, check number 1003. We're reducing the amount in our bank account by $46, leaving us with $7,779. The other side to that entry is telephone. So we come over to the telephone sheet and we record the description, local telephone company. The debit is $46 and the balance is $46. Number 9, we had a $10 fee deducted from our operating account. So you just go to the cash in the operating tab, you record your bank service charge. The credit is $10 because we're reducing the amount in our bank account. Now our balance is $77.69. The other side of this entry is a bank charge in the expense section. So we have a bank service charge, a debit of $10 and a balance of $10. Awesome. Now you take each one of your sheets and you get the last balance on each one of them. Cash in the operating account, you'll pick up this one, $77.69. Cash in the savings, of course, is $100. The rest of them, this one, petty cash box is $55, and I think the rest just have one line. So you should have picked up the balance on all of these and brought them over to your trial balance. And this is what your trial balance should look like. As of, and it should always have an as of date. In the debit column, you have your cash in the operating account, cash in the savings account, petty cash on hand, your bank charges, office supplies, postage for overnight package, and your telephone service. Those are all in the debit column. In the credit column, you should have your business loan from sister, credit card payable, owner's contribution, and sales. Each one of those columns equal $8,024. Now, notice here that I have these highlighted in yellow. That's because the net of those is going to be taken over to the balance sheet. Okay, remember we discussed this. The net income down here, sales $2,000, expenses are $100, and the net income is a $1,900 that goes to the balance sheet. These items here in yellow, the sales, the bank charges, office supplies, postage, and telephone, are not listed on your balance sheet. The net of all of those are flow through to the balance sheet. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment, send me an email. I'm so glad that you were here with me today, and please share the videos and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and thank you.